Today I'm here to tell you as to why I want to go into social work. About a year ago, I made new friends that moved here from California. Her name is Jana, and she has two little sisters, Mahalia and Isley. Jana is 17, Mahalia is 15, and Isley is 8. They moved here with their mother, Iwana, and her husband, I believe, Nathaniel. They moved here because their stepdad had gotten work, and so they moved to the work. I got pretty close to Jana because she started working at the grocery store that I work at. I've worked there for 4 years, and so I'm in charge of training anybody new in. So Jana and I started talking, and we got really close really fast. I mean, it was kind of weird how fast we kind of connected. And eventually her younger sisters started coming over too, because I have like 10,000 million brothers and sisters, and so they'd come over and hang out with my younger sisters and brothers. After we got kind of close, she started telling me more and more about herself, and she started feeling like she could trust me and my family, which was, it's awesome that she can. And so one night in February of 2014, I think it was the last week of January, I think, and I hear this knock on my door, or my window right beside my bed, and I'm like, who's knocking on my window at 1 in the morning? And I get up and I see these 3 girls in pajamas in negative 30-degree weather. I immediately let them in, and I was like, what's going on? Why are you guys here? What happened? And she told me that her mom and stepdad had gotten drunk and started beating each other, and they didn't feel safe. I'm glad that we were there for them, and I'm glad they feel like they can come to us with anything. And so we told them that if anything like that ever happens again, to immediately come to us. And we tried getting their mother help, but she wouldn't listen to anything we tried to do. But she did eventually get her own apartment, and by February they were in their own apartment all together, and Nat was in a separate apartment. So I mean, everything seemed to have been going well, and we were all happy. And then in the end of February, their mother said that she wanted to send them back to California to be with their grandparents and their family back there. And if that's what she has to do to keep her children safe, then she needs to do it. And I completely understand that. I'm just glad they're going to be safe. So she takes them out of school in the last week of February, saying that they were leaving that Friday. So, I mean, we had said goodbyes, and then Friday came and went, and they were still here. So, I mean, we got to hang out for another week, and their mom said they left on Sunday of the next week. So we hung out for that whole week, and then we said our goodbyes, and this time it was for real. We said goodbye, my whole family said goodbye to all 3 of them, and it was a really emotional time because of how attached we were to these children. These girls, I mean, it really means a lot when you can make my stepdad cry when you're leaving him, because he's this big macho military man who I've only seen him cry 3 times in my life, and it wasn't like just nothing that happened. And so you know that these 3 girls they mean a lot. So a week later, I hadn't heard from any of them, and it had been a week. I mean, they're my best friends. Why aren't they texting me? You know how us girls are, always on our phones and stuff. And so I called her, and I texted her, and I said, I just kind of wanted to see what was going on. And I texted Mahalia, and I called Mahalia, and neither of them answered me back. So I knew something was kind of up, but there was no way that I could really tell because they wouldn't answer me. So that Friday, I get a call, and it's Jana, and I'm like, hello, and she says, I'm in Lakota, and I'm not supposed to tell anybody. Nobody's supposed to find out, so don't let my mom know that I told you. That feeling that I felt, my heart just sank immediately, and I was kind of freaking out, and I was like, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to, I don't know what's going on. I had heard things about their mom being on meth, because it's a small town, we hear everything about everybody. She had been hanging out with the main people in our town that we are aware of that do some type of drugs. So I was worried because of that, and I had heard some other things around town that just didn't make me feel like they were safe. So immediately when I got home, I told my mother, and my mom told me that if they call me, that she wants me to call her right away, because she and my stepdad and my whole family left town for the weekend because my stepdad had drill. So on Sunday, I get this call, and I answer, and my Hallie is freaking out. She's the 15-year-old, and she says, "Corey, I haven't seen my mom in more than 24 hours, and all three of us haven't ate anything since Thursday." So it has been about 4 days since they've ate, and their mom threatened them that if they ate anything in the fridge or drank anything in the fridge, that something was going to happen. So I told her, I said, "You guys still have all your bags packed?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, I'll be over in 5 minutes." I called my mom, and I told my mom, I said, "Mom, Mahalia just called me," and I told her what she told me, and my mom said, "Okay, Cor, you go and get them." So I immediately got into my car, and I wasn't really processing what I was doing at this point, because I was just freaking out so much about their safety, and I had this sharp pain in my stomach as to where I felt like somebody just stabbed me with a knife, and like they were turning it or something. I'd never experienced any pain like that in my life. And I get over to their house, and I run as fast as I can into the house, and we start grabbing all their bags, and as soon as I open the door, all I see are blankets up on the windows and nothing in there. It's just blankets everywhere, and like a fort kind of made in the living room to like hide the kids. And none of the blinds were open, none of the lights were on, none of the TVs were on, nothing could be on, because she said that if they turned that TV on, if they turned a light on, if they opened a blind, if they opened that door, something bad was going to happen to them. So we left. We got in the car. I don't think you've seen 4 girls move that fast in your entire life. We got everything in, and I looked in the back seat as we were driving out to my uncle's farm, and I said, "Isley," she's the 8-year-old, I said, "Are you okay?" She said, "I don't know." I said, "Well, if you want to talk to me, you can tell me anything and I'll listen." She looked at me, and she told me that she loved me. And in that moment, I knew that I was doing the right thing, and I felt more confident in doing what I was doing. So we got to the farm, and I made them food immediately, and it was hard trying to make those girls eat because of the way I was feeling. I knew that they were feeling way worse than I was. So, to this day, since March 16th at about 4 p.m., they have been living with my family, and I've given up multiple things for all 3 of those girls, and I would do it again no matter what. I'm proud to say and glad to say that I now have 3 more siblings, and I would not give them up for anything in the world. But there are 6 million other children out there that go through this every single year, and they might go through something worse than this, and I'm not really sure as to what it is that they go through, but I do want to be the one to bring that statistic down, and that's why I want to be in social work.